clients to market and promote their brands and services.
Okay, so basically you are both in the film industry and to some extent visual arts.
Absolutely.
Okay, now with that understanding, let's just talk about how you then get chosen. Let's just look at the criteria here. The criteria, too, as I understand, for you to be eligible over and above, I think the age actually sells you out. We can tell that you're over 18, but your business has to be registered in Botswana. But beyond that, what else is it that you had to do for the both of you to be picked out of the lot and be part of the beneficiaries? Any one of you can take it. Okay.
I can start by saying it was a tight selection. Because when we started, I think we were over 1,000. I understand we were about 1,180. And then after the first evaluation, we were about 980 left. And then that's when our projects were assessed individually. So of which, from that 980, only about 324 were picked. Yeah. This was based on the proposal that each individual companies presented, whereby CIPA team, LTDF team, they looked at almost, they just assess your concept, the viability of the concept, and whether it meets their mandate. Because CIPA, actually, they wanted projects that will surely develop this industry, which have long-term going forward. They didn't want the project that will just do a project and then it ends there. They wanted the project that will sustain the industry even after this LTDF fund.
Okay, yeah. It's quite interesting because you talk about sustainability, and I'm curious from what you've said. My understanding is that when you talk about sustainability, is that through this fund they want to raise the share of GDP by about 5.5% and boost employment by 2.7%. I'm curious to find out from you, Mabiletsa, through your project, the number of jobs that are being created, the number of young people, the diversity really within your team.
Absolutely. So we are a content production facility. So what we aim to provide is a facility that enables content producers, writers, different aspects of the industry who have in the past been marginalized by lack of access to facilities, access to funding, and now we are stimulating the industry in terms of the ability that these partners that we will enter into with different creatives can produce content which is not only for the domestic market, but we are aiming that we produce content that is able to compete even in the region and abroad in the international market. By that we are hoping that we will create more sustainable jobs that can support the youth who are now being marginalized by the lack of opportunities and creative aspects of jobs that they feel they need to be working towards.
Yeah, go on.
So by providing this facility, we believe that we will be enabling the industry to generate content that's more to go to the external market, and thereby generating income that's coming from outside, which will stimulate our domestic market.
Okay, but beyond, and this question again is to the both of you, really, because you're in the film industry, I suppose we can just keep playing the tennis amongst the two of you. Sure. You both have been in the industry for quite some time. I'm very much familiar with some of your work. And I'm curious to find out, you mentioned about producing content not only for the local market, but that can actually compete regionally and internationally. And I'm curious to find out, has funding been the sole impediment in terms of penetration regionally and internationally? And really, anyone of you can take it.
Okay. To start with, television content is very expensive to produce. So I will just say this fund, it came at the right time, whereby it will really definitely help us to do our content in a professional way, which will for sure enable us to compete internationally. Not meaning that before this, the CIPA fund, we were not doing good content which can compete internationally. Like as we speak, as Baboneng Film Production, already we have content that is competing internationally at United Kingdom, at a company called DICE. So, of which it means that the support from this fund will take us far to make sure that we do our content professionally, because as we speak, we have budget that really can help us, and we are not going to compromise our work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as we're reading I don't know if you want to add on to what he just said.
Yes, certainly. I mean, funding is a crucial aspect of any business. And in the number of years we've been in business, certainly scaling up our businesses to reaching greater levels has been the dream that we've all aspired to grow our businesses towards. And with CIPA now coming on board to help us with substantial amounts of funding, we have been able to gain the access to acquire equipments and boost the professional conduct that the teams that we work with is going to now be able to provide. So there is certainly a major assistance that CIPA has come in and rejuvenated our industry and our careers with. So we are quite thankful for the work that CIPA has done.
The question may now be, you've been awarded funding. Are there any specific project that you've started working on really emanating from this injection into your organizations, and what is the plan without really giving too much of the secret?
Okay. As we speak, Baboneng Film Production, we are engaged with Basara documentary. So the project is going quite well. Like we said, with this fund, we have a team, enough team, which is able to do this project without any compromise. We are in the first phase of this project, which is pre-production, and this pre-production is going to take us about 2 to 3 months. And we are at a village called Inalaholo, and we believe the way the villagers of Inalaholo really accepted us and appreciated our concept. We believe we are going to come up with a good and a very good Basaro documentary. So we are really documenting the lifestyle of Basaro, because you know Basaro are our first settlers. Almost in almost all the countries, Basaro are the first settlers. But today, we feel Basara, they are a bit left behind. But our government is doing the efforts to try to bring Basara, to try to improve the lives of Basara. And we are having difficulties with Basara because Basara are reserved. They are a reserved tribe. And with this kind of documentary, we believe we will be able to get them on board and be able to understand exactly what they want, because the way Basaro are, okay, one can say they are difficult people to work with. They need someone who will really appreciate their kind of lifestyle and try by all means to get almost all the information you can need from them, so that they can freely give us exactly what you need from them.
Okay,
yeah.
So essentially through the project, we will be able to appreciate Basara, we will be able to appreciate their culture, and really the perspective of their life from their own lens.
Yes.
Okay, Mabiletsa, what are we working on through this fund? Any projects in the pipeline?
Yes, so certainly our project is a 4K content production facility, a virtual production facility. So it's essentially a facility where we want to be able to produce content where initially, previously in the past, somebody would have to be at a location and filming at a location. Now we are providing a facility where we can virtually place a talent or a key subject within any location that we want to produce content around. And this would minimize the cost of production So there's a diversity in terms of how can we apply that technology. It's an advanced technology which I think it's not common in our land, but it will soon be common, and the type of production that we'll be able to generate will also drastically make the market more variable in terms of content that is presented. And I think you can only just watch the space in terms of the output that we are going to generate.
I suppose that's the innovation part that I asked earlier on before we started our conversation, to say what's innovative about your projects.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So if you see there's diversity in our project, he's focused more on the production of a very high-end documentary. And we are presenting a facility which provides high-end virtual production facilities. So this also creates opportunities for various people with new skills that we don't have in the market, but we still believe that we need to be able to develop. People who design virtual sets, in terms of graphic designers of virtual sets. So once we can present a platform by which our key skills will be able to utilize this facility, we believe that this will create a new way that people are consuming content from Botswana.
Okay. One thing I did not ask the both of you, go gore melona mo 66 million mo go buang ka ineo lona ka go harologana ga lona le hule bokae mme ke botsa ka gore o bua ka gore bana bangwe kana Batswana hela ka kakaretso ba dikitso tse di harologaneng ba ka kgona go tla go tsena mo di projecteng tsa ona ka go harologana potso ene gone gore from a go duela go atswa bana re rutlo go ta gongwe ba twa go tenya gona le magunyanyana ha le jam magunya ba sa duelo go duela le dikgantele le re le emetse mongwe gore a reke content pele ba duelo gore dikgantsa go nna jana through this fund madiki a go hela go lona ba la hilweng kana a go kgona gore re kgone go bona a jwalela mo baneng ba Batswana ka dikitso tsa bone ka go harologana ga tsone re sabe
actually CIPA gave us 992,300, and this fund really helped us to come up with a solid team. As we speak, we have a crew of 15 employees who are taking part in this documentary, of which it really helped us, and it will also help these people, because as we speak in Botswana, we have problem of unemployment. And with this fund, imagine we already hired 15 crew members, and the other film production houses who have been funded by CIPA also, they are going to hire around about 15 to 20. This means a lot about this fund, because most of these people whom we have hired, they are unemployed youth, of which really we thank CIPA for this grant, and we believe and I wish CIPA can fund more than what they funded as we speak. So honestly speaking, when you talk, this fund, it has helped us to create more employment, which our country is crying of.
Yes. For us as well, we have been funded to an amount close to 1 million pula, and this is amount that according to the mandate that we need to help CIPA achieve, is to stimulate our creative industry. So the amount is divided in two parts in terms of how we plan to utilize it. It's both in the acquisition of equipment as well as the production of a content show or production that demonstrates the capability that we are trying to demonstrate. So we are as well aiming to employ, or we are already employing some members of our team. We'll be working with others who are more on a part-time basis, because we work by projects. So we are aiming to really create sustainable jobs that are well paying for our members and that are more long-term lasting.
Okay. I also understand that within this fund, there will be some monitoring and evaluation, monthly reports, quarterly reports, and even audits. And I'm curious to find out, from a financial management aspect, what does that mean for you in terms of where you were before the fund and how this then improves your financial management or your financial capabilities as individual entities, particularly from a sustainability and longevity perspective?
I can say this project is going to help a lot of us as production houses, because to start with, I believe most of the companies in Botswana, they don't, okay, I can say they are not successful because they don't know how to manage funds. But with this CIPA fund, we are submitting monthly reports, of which they want us to account for each and every tab you have used. That alone will help us going forward to know that the business funds are only for business. You don't have to use them for your personal gains. Yeah, but so saying, myself, I'm so happy because at the end of this, I believe our companies will be running professionally in terms of fund management.
Okay, how does this help you governance-wise, financial management-wise?
So I think previous to this, we've always been operating our business in a more well-governed and well-managed manner. We follow due process in how we do our productions. We have clients that entrust us with productions that do require significant funding for us to produce. So this is an example of where now we are scaling up in terms of significance of the amount, in terms of also the monitoring and evaluation that is presented to us.
Okay.
CIPA does not only provide funding and then walk away. We do have periodic engagements with them, monthly reporting as mentioned, as well as phase-based reporting. So we trust that we will deliver within the time frame that we have agreed to, and we will make CIPA proud in terms of demonstrating the capability and as well delivering value for them.
How does success look like for you as individual entities, but also for the industry as a whole, out of a fund like this 66 million? Just 30 seconds each.
Okay. To me, I can say, I believe almost all the companies who had been funded, they are going to deliver as CIPA is expecting, because for the fact that we are being funded, we'll be able to deliver, because most of the companies, they don't, sometimes companies, they don't deliver simply because of lack of funds. But the fact that now we are being funded, for sure, I believe almost all the companies, I have confidence in that, because these companies have been delivering without any fund. Now with this kind of funding, I really have confidence that all of us will be able to deliver 100%.
Okay,
yes, so certainly this funding doesn't discredit the good operations that we've been doing. I think for me, success will look like having the outlay for all this content that's going to be generated to be able to be beamed out to the nation at large. Domestically, we want our channels to be able to absorb the content that's going to be produced. We need to be able to train our market to accept that quality produced in Botswana is of a very high quality. Then when we talk about expanding into international markets, success looks like participation in key market segment and expanding into greater channels.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I was speaking to Kesebonye Seabelo of Baboneng Film Production, as well as Segale Mabiletsa of Provision Media, two of the beneficiaries of the 66 million pula from CIPA, and they promise and they pledge that high quality production that is not only competitive locally but regionally and internationally. So we shall keep watching. We continue with more programming right here on Botswana Tonight.